Welcome back, everybody, to the Sony podcast, starring me.
The bombastic Bagman.
With the bombastic Bagman, yes. Don't worry, I will take this off before. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to avoid any serious cutscenes with this thing because that would just be
No. Ladies, the bag stays on.
Honestly, I mean,
really?
I understand the sentiment though, because like I still think back to like when Iki really wanted me to fight the freaking Lord of Lightning in the clown suit.
Good thing my gadgets are
That was just silly.
I thought it was the Mario. I thought it was the Mario 64 skin.
No, this was before on that. Before we actually beat the game.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, back like we were in luncheon, and that's when you can get the clown suit for the first time, and he was like, I should totally get that, and you buy that and wear it for the next boss, and I'm like, that shit, I don't want to shit all over the place that badly. Or, no,
yeah.
not the taste, the tone. But,
the tone, like, it's a big serious thing, and gotta admit, real talk, this is actually a really fun combo I had never thought to try, is if somebody is webbed up and they get blasted into a wall, like if you throw them into a wall, they automatically stick into the wall and basically are treated as KO'd. But I never realized, at least I never realized until I played this for the first time that, yeah, I could use a spider bomb, web people up, and then use my concussive blast to Fusro-daw them into the wall, and in literally a twofer, unless it's like a heavy enemy, with a single twofer shot, I can like automatically knock people out. Yeah, this thing is pretty powerful. Oh, quality time.
hey, buddy.
Get the bug in my face!
I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie, it looked like his face clipped past his leg, and it looks like his face was smothered by his buttock.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, get the bug in my face! There we go. At least that was a quick challenge.
Burrito for breakfast.
At least that was a quick challenge. Let's do another beat 'em up challenge. Oh, hey, JJ.
You're fine.
Oh, hi.
Friends, our streets are safer than ever.
Really?
Thanks to the tireless efforts of the spectacle.
JJ?
Punchline.
Oh, just kidding.
Are you kidding
Okay,
me?
there. I was like, there it is.
April Fool's Day ended like 2 weeks ago.
Someone
It did.
hammerheads, idiot men resort to digging up.
Yeah, I don't know why they brought in the dig. I don't know why they brought in the dig boys. That was their plan, not mine.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with that crap.
Get people to listen to his
Who
pleas
knows?
for a return to decency is by actually raising this city to the ground.
The worst part
there.
is all that smoke is getting in the bag.
The bag is getting all dirty. It's like, this was. Why did I think this was? Why did I use this? Fantastic Four has to have a couple spare masks. They've worked with other heroes before.
And hey, at least they washed them.
Yeah. Well, that does remind me. A part of me did kind of want to talk about. I wanted to be considerate and not interrupt you people, but I did want to talk a little bit about.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Like, since we were just talking about Fantastic Four, I did want to give my own thoughts on the expansion pack for Ultimate Alliance 3, partly because I get the feeling we're not going to be, like, well, what am I trying to say? Because I feel like we're not going to do it as a commentary. I do want to touch upon the Ultimate Alliance series in some fashion. Like, I think for my birthday, I might ask one of my folks to give me a proper capture card so I can do, like, a combo look at of all 3 games.
Okay.
But as far as like the Fantastic Four campaign in Ultimate Alliance 3, I really love it. Like, I love the cutscenes and just the way the Fantastic Four work off of everyone. I do think it kind of has that same problem that the City That Never Sleeps has, in that it's the campaign where they decide to bring out the especially beefier enemies.
Oh,
they kinda
yes,
become
I
damage
can vouch
sponges.
for that because we went through like a run once and we got stuck in a very bad section.
Yeah, because it was in one of those. A lot of the game there tends to be like these little gauntlet sections, which some of them are pretty manageable, others are not manageable, and that was just one of them where it wasn't, because it was a section where we had to take out multiple waves of enemies, and each one had at least 1 or 2 of these really giant armored beetle-like things from the negative zone.
Oh.
And yeah, thankfully, like, we were able to get past that. We got to Latveria. I had to continue on by myself because we were at an especially difficult point, because, like I said, actually, oh no wait, that was the TV, never mind. Because there's a point, the point of the...
Whoa!
Anyway, the point of the point of the campaign is that like it takes place after the events of the main game, and after they spread the Infinity Stones around to make sure no one gets them. Doom ends up finding the Soul Stone, and he's using
it becomes the big god. It becomes the big like Emperor God one we talked about in the last part.
He doesn't do that just yet. He does that at the end, but the first thing he does with the Soul Stone is that he uses it to sacrifice all of the souls in Latveria and use them to revive this giant armored deity known as a Celestial. And while you're invading Castle Doom, there'll be these moments where like the assembling pieces of the Celestial would come out. Like if you're in like a hallway outside, you'll see parts of the Celestial come up, and as it's getting built, and they'll have sections where they'll like shoot out these consecutive row of laser beams that like deal a lot of damage, but they do it in a pattern, so you kind of have to like bob and weave through them. They do it multiple times. Like the first time, it's intimidating, but once you get the pattern, it's fine. The second time, they throw in a bunch of things on top of it. Like on top of the lasers, they also have these orbs that ricochet back and forth. So it's like a lot of like chaotic bobbing and weaving, and it's like Jordan can attest that section frustrated me to no end.
It did, and I felt so bad for him that day. Can I hug you, Steve?
Of course you can.
Anyway, continue, Logan.
I was gonna say, so it definitely sounds like they're almost treating it like a raid at that point, like a big like high stakes MMO like raid, and where they definitely. Also, I just realized like I didn't know you could sacrifice.
Back,
guys.
Okay. I also didn't know that with the Soulstone you could sacrifice more than one person at a time. I thought it was like one person. That's it.
Well, I think it depends on how strong the will is that you're taking.
But yeah, that's kind of messed up that he basically sacrificed an entire nation.
And
False
the fact
alarm.
that it's fine. And it's also a matter of like the nation they willingly did, because that's just how tight of a grip Doom has over Latveria.
Ugh. That sucks. Like actually, geez, that sucks. It does not suck. Or no, I'll tell you what doesn't suck is the fact that this is hilarious to me that these guys, their faces never change no matter what, which is then captured by the dead. Just dumpster. Trash. Oh gosh.
Thus ends the career of the trash man.
I told him he shouldn't do it. He went back in. I told him not to go back in there.
I thought I'd trip him up with the garbage I throw on the stage.
Man,
boy, you gotta go back home.
I did actually.
Crazy Psycho Olympics.
Yay, that was funny. Maybe I did see that, and I did think it was. Oh, hang on.
R.I.P. my channel.
Oh, shut up.
So,
That's it.
Oh, that's right. That was the last screwball challenge.
Oh, really? Like, in general?
Yeah, we can track her location now. Finally.
And we can finally put the smackdown on her.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Oh,
Where
finally.
is it? She is. Oh, well, hang on. This is on the way. Another big beat 'em up. So this gives us time to more just talk, chat, just have a little chat. What was I?
I thought you were gonna crash through the window.
I've had better plans, and great, here we go again. What were we talking about? We talked about the.
I was bringing up them sacrificing themselves so Doom can revive the Celestial.
Right. Oh no, and then you talk about the Trash Man. That's right. I was saying I saw that really like nice, encouraging video that Danny DeVito made in the current events, trying to like encourage people to like. Yeah, maybe we'll just.
Well, actually, just on a lighter note, and in a similar vein. In a similar vein, but on a lighter note, did you see the one that Steve Martin did where he was just laying down some skills on the banjo?
Yes,
I did not actually,
saw
but I forgot that he can play the banjo.
He's really good.
And come on, I know you're gonna fool there.
Time now. Okay.
Oh.
What the heck?
Screw this.
Maybe for me.
Screw this.
True.
Sorry,
Yeah,
when you were talking about the banjo, I was gonna say maybe I should have one of my
Kaboom!
maybe I'll have one of my people from improv bring out their guitar and we can do some sick moves.
Maybe.
Sick moves with a guitar.
I don't know.
You know.
Don't judge me and my phrasing.
I'm just imagine like an improv guy like, check out this sweet trick, and you just like tell a joke.
Man.
It's improv.
Waka waka.
I mean, we can make up any lyric we wanted to for the musical portion of improv.
Comedy.
So yeah, screw the stuff. Let's just smash some heads.
Smack it, smack.
Is the improv group you're part of, Jordy, like one of those like meet in person ones or like online?
Well, not
Usually,
nowadays.
usually it's meet in person because I usually meet up with them at my old community college, but now we meet on Zoom.
Okay,
For
I
obvious
mean that's
reasons.
fair.
Well, of course.
Part of me is considered if I should do improv. It sounds intimidating. It sounds like something that I don't think I would be that good at.
I mean, listen, I was intimidated by the idea of improv too. Like, I suck at improv sometimes. But if you really get the idea of what the game is like and see what others do, then
Why would you do that?
it's actually more and more fun.
Okay, that's fair. Then I know that
I
like
mean, in some respect, we already get our low-key practice on improv just doing these commentaries.
Well, of course, I was actually just
Yeah,
about to
you're
bring that
right.
up.
that is fair. This is pretty much all improv. I mean, it is improv. Why am I trying to say pretty much all? We don't have a script like take.
No, this
like,
is not scripted at all.
It's
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. This is not scripted.
This is the dude. Hi, that was like the 5th revision I put that through. You can't just tell everybody that we did that. I guess that technique's improv. The most if I ever like, whenever I like talk about improv, like the first thing that like comes to mind is that technically, jeez, is my first introduction to improv was technically through the VA Let's Play Earthbound. That was pretty much all improvised whenever we were doing that. Like that's what I would call that's what I would consider to be like the first time of improv where it was actually like to put on a show and not just talk and hang out. Because like of course, because like when we do these commentaries, I view it more as like we're all having conversations. So of course you're never gonna say like, oh yeah, I just hung out with some friends and we improvised. I mean like that's just hanging out. But ow, stop that. Come on. Curse you when you're bulky fat. I'm trying to hit you.
Get on a double damn treadmill.
Get on a treadmill so I can hit you harder for doing that, and you should be using the freaking. Ow! I was gonna say you should be using a goddamn elliptical. It's better for your core. Everybody knows this.
Seriously, where's the Maja getting the money for all these mini pins?
Actually, I'm also just.
I love that idea of it being mini me, but like a little rectangular kingpin just waddling around.
I thought you said mini pin, and I'm just thinking of the dogs.
Oh, the mini pinchers.
No. Ow. No, like those kind of pitch. Oh yeah. I would love a little mini kingpin to have a little mini pincher. I'm losing my mind. So yeah, no, like improv's one of those things where like I love watching it. I don't know if I could ever like do it as well as like the people who I really look up to for doing that, namely the Who's Line.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. Namely the Who's Line cast.
Wayne Brady, Ryan Colwell.
Ryan Stiles and Colin Mockery. Yeah.
Yeah.
To other extents, Greg Proops. He's great.
Brad Sherwood, I remember.
I absolutely think that if they had Greg
Jeff Davis.
Oh yeah, he was great. I absolutely think if they had Greg Proops involved, I seriously think a lot of the stuff in Mad World had to have been improvised between him and John.
Oh yeah, of course. And honestly, that's so funny to consider that's literally one of Platinum's first games.
I still forget that Platinum made that game.
Yeah, that was literally one of their first.
Wow.
At least under the moniker, anyway.
Was No More Heroes their absolute first?
No,
that was a different studio.
That was a different studio entirely.
Oh no, that's right. Suda51. Sorry. Actually, I can't tell. I don't know what Platinum's first game was because whenever I think Platinum, like, I always think of like their first big break was Bayonetta.
Oh yeah, that was definitely one of their biggest ones. You know what? Let me look them up. Let me look that up real quick.
I do know if you want to get really pedantic, I know that a lot of their bigger hits were back when they were Clover. You know, with stuff like Godhead, Okami, Beautiful Joe.
Okay, yeah,
that's right.
Okay, yeah, no, Mad World literally was their first game under the moniker.
You do?
Oh, okay. And then I remember Godhand was an interesting one.
That one was fairly interesting, but yeah, there was Mad World, then immediately after was Infinite Space, and then immediately after that was Bayonetta.
Okay.
And then the list goes on.
Yeah.
Alongside one of their one canceled game, Skillhound, rest in peace.
Oh yeah, that would have been neat.
Luckily,
Oh, and with that said, I think that is the last of the I believe that is the last of the safe houses. So now we can,
I've got to pitch it.
yeah.
I know you do.
So now we can push forward without all these hammerhead stuff, and
And I hope things work out.
we're gonna now go back to what the
Thanks,
actual
MJ.
plot was supposed to be in this game.
I thought we
There's
were
a
gonna.
plot?
I thought we were gonna end this off by screwing with Screwball.
Well, we're on our way to take care of Screwball now.
Alrighty.
Just as the big, we're gonna mess up with Screwball right now, just as the big finale to this full Bagman shtick.
Yeah.
And then
I
the
don't
bag
want-
comes off.
'Cause I don't want to be in this Bagman shtick all day.
It's hard to breathe.
Yeah, it's got a smell by now.
Anybody streaming?
Anyone?
Screwball,
Hello.
not ghosting me, right?
Let's see.
Okay, well, I guess I just gotta grab the right.
Oh shit!
She sniped you.
What the hell?
OMG, OMG, you should see your face.
Oh, shut up.
It was a
Not here.
tarp. I mean
Should've
trap.
figured.
Tarp. Gosh darn you and your tarp, Scribble. Curse you, Scrabble.
I was kind of hoping.
LOLSM. You know I'm Spidey fan numero uno, but if we collab IRL now, how will we ever make season
It's always very cringy whenever you actually just literally
Read
just
out
say
loud the
abbreviations
yeah.
instead of just what it actually is.
I hate it. So, yep. As you can imagine, that was just Season 2. We're now getting on to Season 3, which is going to be what's going to happen in the, you know, the third installment of this DLC, because, I mean, we're not done just yet.
I knew it was too. I knew taking out Screwball now was too good to be true.
But we're very close. We're technically over the halfway point, given the whole 2/3 stuff.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But, see, I'm trying to think, with all this improv stuff, Jordy, who do you two, like, does your improv group, like, reference, not like references and, like, directly quote, but, like, do they, like, use any particular, like, people or individuals to, like,
what are your
what's the word?
inspirations?
That's it, yeah.
Well, I can say this. It isn't exactly whose line, but what we try to go off of, like, sometimes we would watch, like, clips from very old shows, kind of like I Love Lucy or The Andy Griffith Show. Like, we kind of study their styles and then, you know, go from there to come up with certain ideas,
You
like
know-
for
Okay.
skits and whatnot.
You know something
Alright.
I wouldn't mind us doing? Like, whether it be just on our own, or maybe we could do something for the channel if we ever felt like doing something aside from video games for this. You know that one segment of Green Screen Show where we all take turns telling a story?
Oh, yeah.
We should probably do something like that.
I don't know if I'd be that good at it, but, like, it's that sounds interesting. I just don't know how we could organize that, because, like, the way that worked was they would have somebody pointing at people to quickly, like, change, like, you know, that's when you would pick up the next word, and there's no way for us to, like, physically say, okay, somebody do this without breaking, without saying anything out loud to break the flow of whatever story was being told.
I guess that's true.
But it is something I would like to try if I felt,
Yeah.
if I could do that, just because all the
What
random
the
stuff.
hell?
Yes, we are cyborg men now.
Oh, hi, Kate.
Why?
And I'm just thinking back to MVC3 where it's like, and you thought Cable wasn't in this game.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess, okay. We gotta say, we probably should say, why is Spider-Man now a cyborg?
Your guess is as good as mine. I remember this in the comics.
And I'm sorry to make this joke, and it's probably not true, but you know what? Screw me! Why is he wearing toilet paper on his head?
That's a bandana.
I don't care!
It's a good bandana. It's okay. You know what? Okay, I'm actually gonna look this up right now because I am curious about this. And yes, this is spoilers. There's spoilers. You're gonna see. There's actually a reason why I have this. Why I get this outfit. But this is the outfit you get from completing this DLC. And snipers,
Oh god.
cyborg
dude.
man to the rescue! Hiya!
Dude, ow, ow.
Oh, you'll be fine.
That should get
You'll be
things
fine.
moving again.
It'll be fine.
Where'd it go?
Oh,
I'm not
right,
I'm not Spider-Man. I'm Cyborg Man. We've been over this. Not owned by DC.
Clear the way.
I was about to make that joke about, like, isn't there a cyborg man over Jump City? That's not the same person.
Yeah, let me look this up and where he came from. So let's see. Cyborg Spider-Man is...
Like, real talk, this looks like something that would have been conjured up if the 60s Spider-Man show ran all the way to the 80s. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. So let's see.
If I remember correctly, the 80s take on Spider-Man is on Disney Plus. So
The 80s?
Oh, wow.
basically, as far as I'm concerned, it has a very similar aesthetic to that of the 60s show, only a little more refined, for whatever that's worth. You know, the same. It also spawned that whole Spider-Man and his amazing friends sub-series.
Right.
Surprise, surprise.
Anyway.
No, that's right. So I'm looking into this. So it looks like it was a comic where Spider-Man was working with a guy named Deathlock.
Oh, that's a very obscure Marvel character, actually.
That sounds.
Also got.
He sounds like more of a Deathstroke parody than Deadpool is.
Yeah, it's like think of Deathlock like it's supposed to be freaking Deathstroke meets Cable, like with the cyborg stuff, and apparently, god dang the Dig Boys. So I'm looking at this now. Apparently, this was back in freaking issue number 21, so super old, and Spider-Man got a temporary cybernetic upgrade from a scientist named Oscar McDonald and his company known as Care Labs. And as you can imagine, it looks like it appeared mainly once and was never used again.
Up until this game.
Well, to be fair, that's like with a lot of the costumes in this game.
And other than that, they also say that there's a reference, like in another comic called Superior Spider-Man, there was like another Spider-Man, quote unquote, of Earth 2818. I can never keep track of all the.
If that was here, he would bring us up to speed on what the heck this is supposed to all be about.
Right, and like I know they introduced it, even though it's a lie, spoilers, in Homecoming, not Homecoming, Far From Home. I can never keep track with all of the different Earths and Earth this, Earth number this, Earth number that.
Honestly, a lot of them, like, what am I trying to say? It's not an instance of you have to remember all of them. A lot of them are just pure novelty, and aside from like a few major exceptions.
Yeah. Also, like, oh yeah, and I guess to keep track of everything that's happening right now, so suddenly, as you can imagine, so much crazy stuff is happening all at once, and all of Hammerhead's men are attacking the city all at once and leading me in very different directions.
All at once.
I can't imagine the strategic reasoning why they would possibly have so many people leading me to different parts of the city.
All at once.
Almost on a chase of some. Sorry, officer. Almost on a chase of some bird-related variety.
Are you telling me we're on a swan chase?
Greatly, this is the moment when you're gonna finally come clean and say that it was a swan and not a goose.
I think you're giving this scenario a little too much credit.
Yeah, you make it. You got what you're saying. There's no They won't know the context of why that's the case.
I know. Yeah, that was something related to a ROM hack we were looking at earlier. So, yeah, we're. I don't know why that got me. Was the guy who was in the middle of his voice line saying, "You're in for some hurt," as he's being flung away very quickly. Like, "You're in for some."
I was thinking more like, "You're in for some hurt."
Yeah.
That
also,
was him
I love
talking
how
to himself. He had self-deprecation.
And I also love. Just listen to them. Like, they're so clearly trying to like.
Lure him.
They're so clear, like, hey, Spidey, follow us, like, chase us. Hey, you're still following us, right? Like,
all they're missing on their trucks is a literally neon "Follow Us, Spidey" sign.
Yeah. So how is Spider-Man not catching on to this? No, stop that. Bad. Yeah, I do not. Thank you. Yeah, I do not understand how Spider-Man is not realizing what the heck is happening here, because I'm assuming everybody.
How Spidey's shoes haven't worn out from that is beyond me.
It's called. He uses the same material that the dude from Clyde with a Chance of Meatballs uses.
Oh yeah.
When all hope was lost, I stared at defeat and found hope.
Hey, get him off, nerd!
Well, that actually is kind of the pun. Like, if you remember, like, at the beginning, and uses that exact same shot at the end. That actually was intended to be like a pun there, where he says, "I stared at defeat," because before that shot with his eyes, he was staring down at his feet.
Aw, well, that's
Oh yeah,
fun.
you're right.
I never watched the sequel. Was it any good?
It was okay.
I liked the first third of it. The rest of it, I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and we'll just drop this one in.
Oh,
Yay!
jeez.
We did it,
My shoes weren't
everybody.
wrecked, if my shoes weren't wrecked before, they're wrecked now.
We did it, everybody. We totally didn't fall for the guys.
Hammerhead was keeping you away and we fell for it.
Fuck.
Back now.
Yuri?
Uh-oh.
No!
Wow, we totally fell for it.
It's
Time
like,
for Spider Cable to save the day.
Shit.
The ER's clear and knows we're bringing in. Knows what we're bringing in.
You just said that.
This was all a setup.
No, she was really loose. Apparently, they attacked the police station and
Why did he hit the police
hit a
precinct?
lot of people.
I thought all the Sable
Jeez.
tech was out of there.
Unless he wasn't looking for Sable Tech.
Physically, at least. I
He
knew
was
she's
looking to
tough.
hurt a
Everyone
little
has breaking
deeper.
point.
Yeah,
He was gonna make fun of her mama.
don't do that. You don't do that. That's the
You
gentleman's
don't
code.
make fun of your mama.
And I can
We've been
imagine
over
the choice
this
words he
many
has.
times.
I can imagine the choice words he has. It's like,
Oh, wait a minute.
You're... Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's just that we just got to the moment.
Dang it.
Yeah, the series. It's all gone to hell.
I was going to bring up the Sly 3 code as well.
Oh, and I was gonna be the you and R and a dick.
Jerk.
Oh, okay, a little bit more serious over there, but yeah,
Either way it works, but ugh.
they're trying to steal something called Project Olympus.
Hello.
Oh no.
Which, no, it's not as cool as I thought it could be, but
So,
I'm so
who's
sorry.
casualty?
Yuri. I should have been here.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He went straight for the cases marked Project Olympus.
okay, well, what is
Any
it?
idea what that is?
No, but he has it now.
And
Oh.
we'll get him.
I know.
Where are you going?
To teach a lesson in fear.
Wait,
Whoa,
what?
whoa, whoa, whoa. Deep breath.
You can move, or I can arrest you.
Okay,
God
she's
damn it.
really ticked.
Yuri, we need to work together.
You need to stay the hell out of my way.
Yay, we made an anti-hero somehow.
Oh gee.
Damn
Didn't
it.
take the...
Can you at least help me with the stitches on my outfit? I'm not good at
Possibly
sewing.
end well.
I can't get it out. Just, I don't know, again, remember that this woman watched literally, like, all of New York be taken control by prison inmates and chaos spreading around, and I'm not saying this isn't a serious thing worth, like, mentioning, just it seems a bit odd that after all that, this was finally the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I can understand she probably had a little... Like, by this point, she's worn the fuck out, so, like, having more on top of that, yeah, I can imagine it would break by this point.
Yeah, that's fair. So, yeah, we're gonna go... Now, we no longer have Yuri on our side, and now we gotta try and deal with whatever the heck's happening before all hell goes, falls apart.
Again.
Yeah.
Not
So-
again.
See ya in the next part, which will be the finale of this chapter of the DLC.
Till next time, everybody.
Bye.
I need vacation.